3-inch blocks under here. Hopefully I got enough thread to go down to a 2-inch. I might have to saw them off. Well, scratch this idea. I bought open blocks not thinking, and I use this hole here and scoop my rear end back, and my drive shaft will be too far forward if I try to use this block. So scratch that idea. All right, you probably got the 2-inch blocks. You can probably see I just welded the 2-degree shim underneath there so it'd stay on. Got it raised up another inch. So I started with 4-inch blocks, and the helper leaves all took out, and then went to 3-inch blocks. Now I'm at 2-inch. You can see my back brake set up. Yeah, I know I'm missing a bolt up there, but it'll be all right. I gotta paint my calipers still yet, but drive shaft lays on the exhaust when it's up in the air. Not a lot of room for dual exhaust on these things. Got the brake line, had to wrap it in heat tape, or heat wrap, if it'll focus there. The exhaust sticks out and rubs over it, but let's see what she sits like. Not too bad. Got it down here on the ground. It actually don't look as bad now. The front end's not in the air. But like I said, got ground effects coming for it, so I may go up to a 1-inch block. It's hard to say. Need a little bit bigger front tire. But it's definitely higher off the ground. All in all, it's about, I don't know, 2-inch, let's call it 2 inches in the back, and I think I see a 2-inch drop spindle. So yeah, about 2.5 inches. I thought it was more like 3, but 2.5. It probably looks fish-eyed or bubbled, but not too bad. Sets level. Actually, it sets a 1/2 inch and higher in the back. I put a tape measure on it, but probably ride like it's floating on the ocean, but we'll see how it is on the trip home, and I maybe get to make a pull tonight somewhere and see if it helps with traction. I also got to double check my driveline angles. These was 2-degree angled blocks, but I always like to check and make sure. I know I didn't get a video of them actually installing the blocks, but I think I've already done a video once on installing a 3-inch block, so. Alright guys, got it in. Don't care much for the driveline angle. And I also got maybe a little less yoke sticking out of the back of the rear end now, or out of the back of the trans. Gonna see if it's got any vibration here. Too bad. Definitely rides different. I can feel that I'm leaned forward. Still got my original shake. I got a bent rim or something. This wheel set has always had a shake to it in the back. But yeah, I originally, when I first put the T56 in, I had to cut a little bit off of my yoke, and just so it wouldn't bottom out. And it stuck out maybe an inch, and for these 2-inch blocks, it sticks out now maybe 2 inch, maybe a full inch. Hopefully hopefully that still leaves me with 2 inches or so, maybe 3 in the tail shaft. I could be wrong. I didn't have time to pull it out and check it, but it's got me a little weary about doing a pull. But so far so good with everything else. Runs smooth, at least up to 70. And everything looked good elsewise. Checked fluid, stuff like that. Just your basic little once over everything. But let's see, hopefully this helps. It may be tomorrow when I go to do a pull. Might be tonight. It depends on the ride home here. I got about an hour trip to the house, and it could be smooth, and I mean, I may go for it. I don't know. Hey guys, I never got around to filming an ending to video y'all just watched. Basically last weekend I raised the truck up with some 2-inch blocks, and the drive shaft, I've always had a drive shaft issue. The drive shaft's always been too long. We cut it down, but didn't cut it down a 1/2 inch enough, and so I've always run my lift or lowering blocks with a stagger hole to scoot the rear end back a 1/2 inch to make up for the difference. And as the truck got up from a 4-inch to a 3-inch to a 2-inch, the drive shaft slowly started coming out of the transmission more and more. So I drove it home that night, last Saturday night, and once I got it to the house the next morning, I climbed up under it, and I only had 1 inch of yoke in the back of the transmission. So I naturally took the U-bolts loose and slid the rear end forward to the original holes in the blocks. And I made a little short to see how much play, like I think I got like 3/4 of an inch from bottoming out in the transmission, which is, it's probably about perfect, truthfully. But got that lined out, never got to make a hit to see if, you know, shorten it up a 1/2 inch or so did anything, and also by raising it up, having more suspension, if it did anything. I did put some 90-10 drag shocks. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but put some 90-10s on it. Seemed like they helped a little bit. I still not got a 60-foot launch down where I want it. But in making that video, when I was editing, I noticed, I don't know how I didn't notice when the truck was on the lift, but my rear radials was dry rotted. Like they had big cracks in them. And I never noticed. Somebody even pointed it out in one of the comments, you know, hey, your tires are shot. So this weekend I've got my drag pack tires on, and gonna try to do something other if I can here and see if it helps. But yeah, never made an ending to the video. Figured I'd complete it and get it done, get it out of the way. It seemed like there's something else I'm forgetting, but the truck looks better with the back end up level. I still got a little bit of I think a driveline shake. I thought it was the wheels, but it's also shaking with these wheels on it, on the back. right at about 65 to 70 mile per hour. And the pinion angle used to be at -2, now it's at 0, even though there was a 2-inch angled block after I welded the shim to them. I guess just where the rear end is raising, it's throwing an angle, because I noticed my 4-inch blocks had a 4-inch degree taper, the 3-inch had 3 degree, the 2-inch had 2 degree. So I'm assuming, you know, having a 2-inch with a 4 degree would probably be too much. But I bought some shims in case that is the problem. It's good weather tonight. I was hoping, I got my ground effects in. Got lost in the mail a little past a week of the delivery date. I don't know why that everything I've ordered through USPS has been terrible recently. I had a oil pressure gauge. They lost it for 3 weeks. And then after all the rigmarole to get it, it turned out it didn't even work. It was bought off Marketplace. Everyone knows the risks involved with buying parts off Marketplace. But yeah, hopefully this thing starts biting and doing good. I need to find me a 275 40 18 tire for my other wheels. I don't know if I'm going to put just regular tires on it and drive it, and then find me a set of good slicks even, or another set of radials. These radials that's on these drag tires come off a buddy of mine's Mustang, and they're only 25.5 inches tall. They're a 275 50 15, and I'd like to have something a little beefier. I'd also like to have matching fronts. That would be fantastic, but they're not in the cards right now. But that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for clicking my stuff and watching. And some of my videos will be of nothing and they will get the most views. Some of them put a little bit of effort into and they seem like they don't go nowhere, but it is what it is, and I appreciate everybody watching. I try to be helpful as possible on this journey, and we'll see if we can't get a little further along in the future. And I appreciate everybody, and thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.